Welcome, everybody. Technical difficulties as always.
Really.
It's is the auto gain on in Skype or something?
Something's going weird today. I don't know. Bill
Oh, now
Gates
your
is
normal
fucking.
sound again.
All right, good for me.
Anyway, if you like the show and would like to support the show, a super chat guarantees an answer to your topic and their question. Also, like and subscribe. That's free and it helps in the YouTube algorithm quite a bit. Join our Discord. That'll be important for later if you want to see what we're actually somewhat talking about. And go to Skinny Play and buy yourself something fun. Use the
Make yourself
link.
your own.
Yeah, you can customize it. If you need a picture of Willie's face, I'll be happy to share that.
It's gonna be all in pro Microsoft Paint.
No, I have pro pictures from Skinny Play.
Oh, word. They felt bad enough to upgrade you now and shit. Right on.
Also, they have a discount going, but that's for two things. And our promo code also works on one. Links is in the chat and in the description down below. And that's about it. And yeah, how's your week been back in Canada?
Bro, I've been just sifting through papers, and because I have to now prove everything that I bought with my actual money, that I'm not washing shit. So, like, proof to, bought the 90s. Like, I'm actually very well organized in that sense, but it's still a pain in the ass to actually look everything up. And because you got to take the pictures of the actual, what's it called? Statements of account now, because I don't have, like, they don't go that far back on the server on the bank, right? You only get
Mm.
6 months. Well, I need to go back like fucking 6 years in some cases. So, found it all, uploaded it all, and now it's just paid off the car in the week or during this week, so that's done. So I just wait for that lift of lien document to come in, so saying that I don't owe any cash on it. So maybe I can get that appraised and move that as an asset as well, because I'm gonna use it for business.
Company
And
car
yeah,
instantly.
yeah,
Yeah.
overall just hating fucking life here, man. Like,
Being
shouldn't have
cold, or
gone.
is it nice and
It's
warm there?
actually nice here. Like, it's 26 degrees now, but it's nowhere near like, what it was in Florida. But, even with the moisture and stuff. But like the breathing here is tougher than I noticed than in Florida as far as for me, myself and I, it goes. So yeah, no, I'm just packing everything up, going through shit. Went to Hugo Boss the other day and left fucking few grand on a new wardrobe because I'm like, if I'm gonna roll in a store, then might as well have some suits and shit. So yeah, bought a whole bunch of things, and now I'm just ready to go.
Sweet. I have a question from the Discord as well to get out of the way, and it's been puzzling because I don't have them and can't find any answers on it. But the best person to ask is you. So Jared asks, has anybody ever set up a master-link connection between a BeoSound Overture and a BeoSound 5 or BeoMaster 5? The Beolab 5s are digitally connected to the BeoMaster 5. Both audio systems are in the same room.
You would need a MCL converter or BeoLink converter. You could do that. Then you just do data link, but I don't know, quite honestly. Well, no, you would use the BeoSound 5 as the audio master, and you could use the data link going into the converter, going into the master link of the BeoSound 5 or BeoMaster 5. And then you would just have to switch your native sources in the BeoMaster from radio to net radio and CD or net music to AMEM, not the CD, of course, because that'll fuck up the 2000. But that is doable for sure. You just need an 8-pin data connector and a BeoLink converter, which I think I happen to still have one.
So if you're
The,
listening, Jared, let me know tomorrow. He's in Australia. That's partially why the question is written down. So it's like
Mhm.
4 in the morning or something there.
I also don't know if, because obviously it's an old product. I didn't really play with it much, but I think that in a data link, you should be able to set the BeoSound 2000 or whatever. You should be
The
able to
overture,
send it
yeah.
over to. You should send it to option 0,
But then you
and
can't
then
control it with a remote, right? Then you can.
Well, uh, yeah, I guess if they're in the same room, why the fuck would you do that?
I think it's probably for CDs with the BeoSound 5. Or...
Well, but then it plays through the BeoSound 5. Like you're just borrowing the sources. You basically you can make it a local operation by just pressing radio and it'll start playing, but all the remote commands will be just passed down to the BeoSound 5, and then radio will play through analog power link connections, and if it goes to the hard drive of a BeoMaster, then it switches to digital.
Hmm. All
And
right.
then PowerLink just controls the volume in the fives.
It is, yeah, it is a bit odd to have it in the same room, maybe. Evening, Adam.
No, I would do it
Did
like if I were to do it, I would just put it like if you can afford to do it. I mean, not money wise, but room wise and logistically, and not fucking with too many things. I would put the Overture into a different room as a completely different stereo, and then if you have a Beolink 1000 with it, then I guess you would use phono and A tape 2, which is I think shift tape command, and that would activate or pull the. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you,
And
Martin.
that would pull in the sources from the BeoMaster 5. It might not work out of the gate. Like usually when you start pissing about with the older systems, I would give it at least half an hour for it to like settle itself and figure its shit out and uh, and power up the BeoMaster second when you're doing it. Or second, I guess third.
Yeah,
You should
because the
power up the Overture, the converter, and then you power up or boot up the BeoMaster 5 and have it figure its shit out and then give it fuel, and then you option program it. Then you go to the BeoMaster or BeoSound 5 in the mode menu and set the proper options, proper sources, and then option program the Overture, and you should be set.
was there ever a CD player for the BeoSound 5?
There was a CD player for it, yeah.
Because if it's just for like he didn't add it to it, but it almost sounds like it's just for a CD source, right? Like you're almost
Yeah,
better
but
off
that thing is
looking.
hard to find. It's very hard to find the CD Ripper, is what it's called. I sold one actually. I didn't. I should fucking stupid. Should have left it.
I'll keep my eyes out for it. Jared, just text me on Discord tomorrow whenever you hear this. Because if it's just
Quite
for
honestly,
CD, it may be easier to find something difficult to find than.
but you could honestly get away with murder on buying an actual external CD drive and just pop it into the back of the USB of the BeoMaster, and it should, in theory, work exactly the same.
Just a regular Panasonic, you mean? Or Philips or
Yeah, like
whatever.
one of those $80 CD drives you buy in a computer shop.
Hmm. Sweet.
So yeah, DJ Neo, there you go. So
They're probably
like I
better
said,
anyway. They don't look as nice, isn't it?
faster
Yeah.
and faster and definitely I don't know. Like if you think about it, if you're ripping the disc, you've already ripped it, so it's in the drive. There's no rhyme and reason for you to put it back in a CD player to play it as a CD anymore. Like that's just it's illogical to me.
Yeah. No, I just don't. I'm slightly speculating on what the whole purpose of it is. But since he asked it earlier today, when it was like normal time for him,
Mm.
I forgot to answer or ask what exactly the purpose of everything was. If it's just for the pretty, or
Mm.
I mean, if it's just the pretty, just do power link out. If it's a
But at the end of
CD,
the day, like I said, like if you have an older PC, which most of us that have BeoSound 5s do, why not just install the Beo player, map the network drive off the BeoMaster 5 into the Beo player app on your computer and rip the CDs through there, and then you actually have an option to organize your colored playlists uh, with a mouse instead of like press go and hold and try to like scroll the wheel to move it and shit. You can actually organize your music the way you want. and it talks back to the BeoMaster 5. A lot of people don't know that, or it's a pain in the dick to set up. But a lot of people that bought these systems, their native operating system in the house is Apple, which kind of sucks because Apple no longer supports any of this stuff.
Yeah. I'm just doing this.
Yeah, I agree with DJ Neo that the album art is dead. That sort of is because it was Windows Media Player, I think. So if you rip it on the PC, then everything just comes in properly, and you don't have an issue.
Well, let's get to the major elephant in the room. Jared, if you need any further help, let us know, or email us, or let us know on Discord. Yeah. But these leaks, man. God damn it. For anybody that doesn't know, you can go to our Discord because I feel bad showing it on here because it's already in Google Cache. But the picture is seemingly a bit worse than that's on the Discord. But if you find it under BeoSound, because as per usual, B&O decided, yeah, secrets. Don't really need.
Every time I click your link, it just gets me to fucking register. I do not understand.
Do you have the app open?
Now I do. Let's see. No, it still goes into the fucking window. It's just dumb.
Oh, the link is maybe only for new people, but if you have the whatchamacallit, the app open, you can find it under BeoSound.
Yeah, I'm looking. It's just the fucking meme central. There we go.
Yeah, wait. Now I posted it or reposted it again from a repost.
I like it a lot.
So, good people of YouTube, if I feel bad for B&O to show it for right now on the stream because
we have a rule.
Yeah, because it's not out yet, and by my estimation, it's at least 2 months away. And,
but it looks nice.
It's on BioWorld. It's on our Discord as well. So it's like there's no way to stop it because it's in bloody Google Cache because it was up for long enough that Google cached it.
How do you feel about it?
The design of it I like a lot, but like I don't have a lot of hair left, but I'm pulling the last bits out every time.
Why is that? Why?
Because like whenever a shop or whatever puts something out in their window when it's too early, they go apeshit about it. But
yes,
this is straight off their own website.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, come on, why? Why? And I think I know why. And this is a lot of speculation, but...
tactical leaking?
No. If you were tactical, you wouldn't leak the whole product picture, would you?
Well, maybe.
Because it wasn't even leaked like that. It wasn't an oopsie. It was on an invite for the House of Bang & Olufsen. Like, do you want to be kept?
I remember.
Do you want to be kept in the loop of new and upcoming products and or invitations for dealer visits and that sort of thing? Sign up here, and the top picture above that was the TV. Well, is the TV B-Sound Theater?
Yeah.
And you can tell it's in the same new category of photo shoots they've taken because it looks like it's in the exact same room as that the balance is shot in and the level and the 28s. In terms of design, I personally like it, but it is kind of like... my speculation is the reason why I think this keeps on happening is that they have 2 offices in Denmark.
The leak and unleak.
No. They have, like, sure, the factory and everything, right? But apparently they couldn't get enough expertise to Struer, so they opened up a secondary office in Copenhagen. So the office in Copenhagen has its own whole infrastructure with servers and pictures and data, and that's where all the customer serves and that sort of stuff comes out of now. So most likely, the web developer team has maybe been once or twice to the factory, and they just didn't know that this product wasn't current. As in, it wasn't even out yet. They probably had no clue yet.
Mm-hmm. Do you think the stand is motorized? It looks like it's going to be.
To me, it looks like it's going to be, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that the bottom has anything to do with acoustics? Like the whole curve to it?
Potentially, yeah. Besides that, I think it looks nice.
A big fucking center tweeter in there. Like, the grill can barely hide it.
I mean, I really like it. Billy says, I wonder if those wooden slats are motorized. I highly doubt it because it's a Beosound.
What would you motorificate on them anyways? Like, did they shrink or whatnot? Like, I don't...
Yeah, that they open up, I don't think it adds anything. I think this is a product that's going to sit below the Eclipse, personally.
You think so?
Yes.
But you can put any screen on it, though.
Yeah. But the stand is a lot more simpler. It's just tilt. It's not your planetary stand.
Well, it just rotates, but I wonder if it actually would tilt. That'd be cool if it did. Like the old BB7s.
I don't think so. I think this is basically all the bells and whistles of an Eclipse sound center in a simpler chassis. Like no planetary stand. So just if... I'm not even sure it's motorized, the floor stand. It could be. I hope it is, but... I mean, even if it's manual, you can see why.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if that mid part section would actually be expandable up to custom order to based on the width of your TV.
Yes.
Like with the end cap, right?
As in the end caps will be length dependent.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if that would be a case.
Because if you look at about the last 10% on either side, you see this slight line.
That's
because
right.
by the looks of the aspect, this looks like a 55-inch.
Mm-hmm.
And then a 65-inch should just make them a bit longer. Like the center will be the same for everything.
Wonder what other cover options they're going to have, if they're even going to bother with the cloth.
Yeah, they will, because the wood will be, as always, expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Clara asked, like I just explained, I'm not going to show it in the full view yet because I feel bad for B&O, but I also, in the same question, ask everybody respectively. If you want to look at it on the Discord or on BeoWorld, whichever you prefer, but don't go like pasting it everywhere, because we're not into hurting B&O.
I'm leaking shit.
Well, they leaked it themselves, which is, like, personally, this since the oak on the front, right, is straight up for once.
Mm-hmm.
They could have done so much better with leaking and teasing by just taking close-up shots of the oak being upright.
I agree.
Everybody would go like, "What the hell is that?" Like, is it
doesn't look like
motorized,
it's
or like the Harmony, or is this a new small product?
It's taken off to Google. You can't find it on Google anymore. I agree with Billy. I just looked that up. BeoSound Theater is no longer on Google. So if you want to see it, go to Discord, because you ain't going to see it on this stream today.
Yeah.
Till it comes out.
So it's one of those things where, I don't know. I told them as soon as I found out, like, dudes, like, Come on, again.
Fuck. And harder. I'm
But
very curious about the center channel speaker, the whatever the full range driver or a tweeter, whatever the heck that is. It looks like it'll have some good spread on it.
yeah,
It's
I mean
pretty
every
big.
I think in terms of power and sound, it's going to be very similar to an Eclipse. I mean, if you look at the pure raw power of a stage and an Eclipse, and even the BeoVision Harmony, they're all the same. They're all 450 watt. The
Mm,
Harmony just sounds the best because you have way more cabinet space.
yeah.
I mean, the people that look at wattage are often they stare themselves blind on something that's only a part of the equation.
Hmm.
So, but in terms of how slim this looks, I have a feeling it's close to an Eclipse in terms of power and output. I mean, if it's close to a stage, then it's going to be fantastic.
I'm still sold more or less on the Harmony at this point of time than this. Like I'm excited about that, but I think that once I get over and I set up an apartment in Miami, I'm gonna get the I'm gonna get the Harmony. It just looks nicer with the 90s, man. And I'll order those two goddamn grills, and I'll freaking reinstall the wood to silver.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I mean, but I have a feeling that this is going to look excellent, but is more meant to sit below an Eclipse because an Eclipse is quite expensive. It'll probably sit somewhere in between a 55-inch. What's the other TV called again?
Horizon, Harmony, Contour.
The Contour. Yeah, that's it. It'll probably sit
But you know
between it.
what though? Like what I wonder and how much aluminum is on it because it looks like it's aluminum from the front. Is it all from the back or is back going to be plastic? Right, like on the stage where you just have the aluminum rim. So there's a little bit more, sexy to the trim on the front. But I wonder what it looks like from behind. I also wonder how the TVs mount from behind. And what is the biggest TV you can put on it without it looking fucking awkward? You know?
I have the feeling for this potentially they could put
77.
yeah, and not any bigger.
No, I don't think you can go any bigger on that than
Because
77.
with the Harmony, it's somewhat easy because the sound center is 80 kilos. So
Hmm.
I mean, it's a lot stronger in every which way. It's wider in the base. I mean, this has the pro that it doesn't need to move other than left to right.
Yes.
But from the FCC documents, what you see of this, the only thing that's tested for is literally the wood bit and the aluminium bit below it.
Hmm. I wonder
Bec-
if this is wall mountable or going to be wall mountable. It looks like it should be able to. I think STB is going to come up with something crazy that'll wall mount this thing. Because some people would consider wall mounting it, in my opinion.
I'm pretty sure this would be wall mountable. Will it be movable on the wall mount? I don't know.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
I mean, personally, I would have this wall mounted in one way or another and have a separate screen because I don't care that it's. I'm less fussy that it's not visually a whole, and then just go for a massive panel like 83 or 97 once that's eventually available.
Is that what you're going to end up doing? I guess so. Better than
Probably,
harm.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it depends a bit on the availability of the 97-inch panels, but otherwise 83. I mean, it's weird. Like after how long? 3 years with 77-inch. It's so normal.
Hmm.
It's such a normal size now that it's sort of like, yeah, it's not big. It's normal.
Well, you just get desensitized to it, right? Like even like when I first got the 90s, I would like walk into my apartment and just like creep from the around, the foyer. I'm like, fuck, these things are huge. And I just couldn't believe that I had them for a while. It was just surreal. But then it becomes part of your life. It's just something that's just always there. So that's another thing that chafes on me, that I know where they are and I can't use them.
You can always give them to me. It's fine.
No. That's not going to happen. Yeah, I don't want to sell those speakers at all.
No, I get that. I'll steal them. That's fine too.
I'm still debating. Now that I've seen what I've seen as far as
you're insured, right? So it should be fine.
Yeah, I'm fucking fuck you, man. I'm not doing that shit. Try to get away with that shit on the podcast. Like, yeah, there's white 90s behind you. I wonder whose those are, asshole.
Yeah, but mine have the black insert. I'll cover it up. Mine aren't white, they're the new sand color.
That's right. But yeah, I don't know if I'll, because I still like the sexy of the movement, right? That is on the Harmony. Like, that's just, to me, it's cool.
I do too, but when you go enormous TV sizes, and a darker back wall, I'm not sure it matters all that much in terms of, like, I've had my TV up for a few days and it's sort of like I don't actually mind that it's going up and down or not.
Well, like, I would have mine against the window, so it would definitely make a difference, right? So, but that's why I'm kind of looking at it like,
in terms of FCC, this is like the back look of it. And so this is the product, not with a panel on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think people forget that all B&O dealers are now LG dealers as well.
Yes.
Which is, and certified repairmen, which is rather nice.
But I think that this is just like the gray areas where those 6 screws are, or 3 on each side. I think that's where the VESA mount comes in for the TV panel. And I think that's also where the floor stand would attach to on the bottom.
I think so too. Yeah, I can't wait to see this thing in real life because it looks damn sexy.
I think the heat sinks and all that, that's where the amps and all the GUI processing is going on.
Yes.
On the sides, the only logical thing that I would put there is WiSA and whatever else antennae that you would need, like Bluetooth and all that shit. Some of it is probably facing forwards anyways, whatever it can. But, I think that's all there is. And then a bunch of PLs and network and ARC.
Let me see. I mean, now it also makes a bit more sense of what's where. And I mean, it's funny that there's like a cable tie here for nice cable management.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a lot of connections on the back of this.
Yes.
I mean, it would be understandable that they actually called it the BeoSound Theater as a sort of BeoSystem 5 with center speaker built in.
Mm-hmm.
And the picture that's up on Discord is just like a look you could go for, but you could also attach it to like a projector or whatever.
Yeah, you can put it under the drop-down screen more or less.
Because I take it in the US there's a lot more people wanting that, because generally you have more space in your house.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it's a bit agnostic of what you put into it, that would also be nice, but no news on that, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But if we have to think about what the FCC said, this will be available in, well, at the latest, November. If I'm counting right. I mean, and if it's not available, then all the specs will be out anyway.
I think it's going to be available. At least like, they're going to have a few samples for the dealers to tease people with. and you can order it, and we'll see you in February type of thing, as per usual, right?
Yeah, because I was talking to some people, and the supply chain stuff is really, really,
Choked.
yeah, it's ridiculous. It's unpleasant, even for simple things.
It's such bullshit, though, man. Like, it's just bullshit how like everything got affected to this level, right? All of a sudden.
By the way, if you look at the picture on Discord and then look at the picture here, here's that line again, where it probably separates, and
Hmm.
you add on a widening wing, so to say.
Or do you think those end caps are completely different? Because then you're gonna have fucking lines all over the place, like zebra, right? Like if you had, and if you add an extension block to it, then you have now
I
two
don't think
lines.
it's an extension block. I think you pull the end off and you put a way longer single piece on.
The whole thing, yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I'm thinking too.
Sandeep asked, do we think this could be the official end for new BVs down the road?
I think the BeoVisions are dead already as they were. It's just, I think now it's just a good sound system that you put an LG panel over top of. I don't think that the TVs. I think the last TV B&O has done was Avant, a real B&O TV.
It depends on the definition of BeoVision, right? With what you just said, I agree. But in terms of is the BeoVision Harmony a BeoVision? Because if yes, then no.
To me, it's still a BeoVision, but it's just not. It's not the old school, right? Like where everything was custom. The menus were different. Now it's just you put on a panel, you install an app that just the software works with everything else. Yes, you can do multi-room. So to me, I would consider that as a BeoVision. You can do the surround sound out of the gate. You have the sources built in, the pocket control, which is still pocket control, right? I wonder if this will have it, but that's to me that is a real BeoVision still. Even though like when the Eclipse came out, I wasn't really the fan of it, but it once I got it working, then yes.
I mean, because if the Eclipse Harmony and well, this is a Beo sound, but the Harmony are BeoVisions, then I don't think BeoVisions will be the end of it. But it's the purest thing, right? Like the actual end of BeoVision, where B&O made the whole thing, is gone, but it has been gone for years now.
Hmm.
But I mean, when was this? This was 3-4 months ago, something like that. There was an interview with the CEO, and they said they were going to focus more on BeoVision. And that was their prime focus, because the BeoVision is the prime mover of everything B&O, basically.
Well, yeah, because once you get the TV and the sound that's awesome, you want to tie in more speakers to it, and if you have the possibility to just have a multifunctional system that doesn't really exist on any other market, where your rear channels now become your dining room speakers for the like how many companies can they offer that, or can offer that? Like not many, I don't think, if any. Does anybody do multi-purpose speakers?
Does Sonos
Assignments?
even do that? Because it's, I mean, you can sort of stream throughout the house, but you can't
Tell the
on the
speaker.
fly rejig what is what, right? I don't think
I don't
so.
think so. I don't think you can do that. Like you can do it with the speaker groups, which is insane flexibility if you think about it. Like that's a if you explain that to a client properly, then like their limitation is their only imagination as far as where they put the speakers and how they have them. Because yeah, we can make it sound great for your theater sound, but we can also make it sound great for when you entertain people and so on and so forth.
Yeah, because you can set it up that like stereo stereo only music listening. I literally go there, I press a my button, stereo only that way.
Right?
Yeah.
Sick.
Sandeep says, I worry that future single proposition BeoVisions will be extremely high end Halo 90 style products. I get what you're saying, and I don't think they'll become much cheaper for the high end. But I think they've realized that if they were to have just a Harmony, that wouldn't go. because first of all, it's big, and they've known for
Very present TV.
probably for a decade now that the sort of 3-tiered system is good. Like you need the Halo TV, the fantastic middle of the line TV, and then the V1, let's say, contour type thing. I could much easier see this TV take over from the contour.
I agree. Contour is sexy, but this is a different level cool.
Because I mean, you forgo all the weird aluminium work on the side. That's incredibly hard to make with a bit easier to produce. It's probably in the same ballpark in the end, and you're not as limited with panel changes because you don't have a fascia that it needs to be millimeter precise in.
Mm-hmm.
If, I don't know, let's say LG's TV next year has the same look, but is like a millimeter thicker. Like, that's an issue for if you have a contour frame. Like with this, like the panel is out in the open. There's nothing, by the looks of it, constraining it other than the face amount on the back.
Yeah.
You can always make a spacer for that, and that's a lot easier to do.
And there is a visible gap between the screen and the theater.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that is. If that's where the
Intensity.
B&O does something like that, or if that's a thing from the LG panel.
I don't know.
We'll have to see that until it's there in real life.
Yeah, Sandeep, I think that the BV11 type of TV or BV10 type TV, I think that is dead now.
This is the closest to it, though. I mean, this is square again.
Almost, but yeah, this is the closest you can get to it. To like a BV11 55 with the lamellas and stuff.
Honestly, had they come out with this instead of an Eclipse, I think this would have sold a lot more than the Eclipse did, because the Eclipse was a bit odd. In that the speaker was wider than...
Yeah, that was kind of... It didn't rub me right in when I first saw that.
I liked it enough to buy it, but it was sort of like, there's no real point that this needs to be wider than it is.
Mm-mm.
Other than design, but... I mean, whatever.
Had the Dumbo ears on it. That's what it reminded me of.
I mean, you saw the Beolab 7.6 or whatever it was, more or less, in it. Also with the grill bit, but...
It still is what it is. It's a nice TV, but I've had my time with it. And I'm good with it now.
Yeah, for the people not having seen it yet, go to the Discord, sign up. Sign up if you just need an email and a username. And you can make it something silly like Billy Ballbag.
I think that's already taken. But yeah, I think it's a nice addition to the portfolio. I think it'll sell. I definitely think it'll sell.
I mean, if it functionally does the same sound center things as the Harmony, I would get it. Also partially because it's so much easier to move than the Harmony is overseas.
I wonder what the price point is going to be, and if they're actually going to do like the full, let's say 4 PowerLink outputs. Because I don't see that many RJ45 connectors in the back, like, considering the network.
In terms of
network out.
In terms of what would you say, symbols? There's a lot of connections on the back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can go back, but there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 symbols on the back. Like, this looks like it's a power squiggle here. But even so, like, God, that's a lot. And even if you have, let's say, 4 HDMI, that still leaves another...
See, but then my worry is now beginning to be real. Is there going to be enough room in there that if you fully seat it all, fully connected, will there be enough room for all the goddamn cables if you were using B&O specific wires, which are, 4 mil thick?
If you use all the
Memory.
inputs, no. But that's partially because HDMI cables are enormous.
But you can get thin profiled ones now as well, right? That just don't run them too long of a distance. Because you're going
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
to
But
the
like to put it
bloody
this way,
whatever.
like the back of the Harmony is like roomy compared to the Eclipse, but mine is pretty full. Like I had to do some.
So say you have a setup where you have a set of 50s and a set of 90s, you do need to run a fully seated power link into each speaker. So that's two PL cables taken up by a thick ass cable, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, that'll work. That'll be fine. I mean, all my speakers are wired. So in my Harmony currently, I have 4 PowerLink. I've used all the PowerLink ports.
Well,
It,
yeah.
I have 2 HDMI's, and then the power from panel and TV or and sound center also come in there. And yeah, it's tight. I wouldn't want to add a bunch of puck cables and 2 more HDMI cables to that. I don't think that'll fit if I fully use everything in the back of the Harmony.
Hmm.
I mean, it may fit, but the way it was done already from the beginning, uh, the every time the cable moved a bit with the up and down thing, the back cover would pop off.
Oh shit.
So I had to. This was a thing I decided myself to do. I cut all the power cords and stuff, the ends off of it, because here they're
Hmm.
like round and nice and big, and used welding clamps for that to like all. Say if I now pulled the power plug from just the sound sensor, that's also for the TV. Like they're 2 into 1 now,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying.
just to get that much more room to be able to. I mean, I could get the back to not pop off, but just because it goes up and down, that cable will never stay exactly in the same position after like 10 times up and down,
Hmm.
and then it would just put enough pressure on it that it would ever so slightly push a bit on the cover, and it would pop off. Not like fall off, but like one corner would be off.
Yeah, well, this one doesn't have the risk of vertical movement. This is just gonna move from side to side.
Yeah,
So I also wonder how deep the casing is for the on the back of that wall of a floor stand because it's pretty wide. So I'm sure they're going to accommodate for at least some of the cabling. Maybe there's a little bit of a neck cover that goes over top of all the cables, so you don't see any of it. I don't know how they design or gone around or about the elegance of the cable management because everything in the catalogs is usually not plugged in. So the reality of what you
yeah,
deal
that's
with
true.
is what they have.
I have a
Especially
feeling
in
it could be
BeoTalk.
something as simple as like what the Eclipse has with that little pole that sticks up.
But I don't think you would even need that. I think it just crawls up the spine of the back of that cover or back of that
Yeah,
stand.
but if it then moves, because the what used to be the pole that's now that flat concave thing moves
Yeah,
with
but it
it,
would be the same thing like it moves on the BB9. It just fucking drags it around itself. That's what mine does.
so it sweeps the floor a bit
Hmm.
while you're going.
You can't hear it. Like it's so small of a movement that you can't hear it. So
Yeah, for anybody not knowing, the back of the Eclipse is. This is, by the way, Eric sent this earlier today. Normally, there's a little uh, hole here at the back of the floor stand,
hmm.
and then that cable snakes nicely down there and comes back.
But this is
But
also a good idea to do it like this, the
yeah,
higher up outlet.
but
Then you never
you
see
can
any of
you
this.
can you can probably tell by the stand already if you're not fully into the B&O world that this stand is a lot harder to make because this TV goes literally that way and can take in any of these circles take do that as well.
Hmm.
So the articulation is a lot more for anybody that's not seen a planetary stand yet.
Well, because you can pull it away, basically the
Yeah.
entire diameter width away from the wall, and then you have way more turning radius on the TV screen itself.
I mean, whatever the theater has is much more akin to the Harmony stand, where it's
It's just side to side.
yeah, like the old school BV11 14 stands.
Hmm. Yeah, this one's gonna be interesting. I'm certain of it. And I wonder how far or how many expansion panels they're gonna make for them. So are they gonna accommodate all the way for up to a 77-inch screen, or is it gonna look too goofy, too small, or they're just gonna go 55 and 65, which makes kind of sense, right?
I hope to go 77 just in case. I mean, they'll charge probably more than an Eclipse 65 at that point, but that's fine. Because an Eclipse can't be 77.
No.
Sending us a date for launch event pre-November. I think so.
I think it's gonna be out October 1.
I would hope so. The caveat is obviously availability of parts.
Yes.
Because if you go by historic dates, it's always end of August, early September, something like that. However, the market being as it is sort of like hard to guarantee if you can, like, you can probably launch it, but everybody hates a paper launch.
Mm-hmm.
At least I do. Because then it's like, yeah, you can have this eventually. And it's like, but I want it now. Why can't you take my money now?
No, I don't like that shit. But
I mean, with the car and customizing and stuff, you would understand. But this is not like go in and say, I want it blue.
mm-hmm.
This is like, I wanted this with oak or fabric or whatever, and that's it. I more so wonder, could you potentially go to the bespoke department and say, give me a 83 or whatever?
In anthracite.
Sure, that could work.
$17,000 more. Where do I swipe? Or where do I wipe, rather? Because I just shit on myself. Why not? Somebody's gonna buy it.
Generic enthusiast over on Twitch says it looks like the squared off sides of the theater should match up with the LG G2 bezel. Could very well be, yeah.
Yeah.
Eric has already commissioned the bronze theater. Well, that would work in his house, in his weird Swedish
Interior.
Yeah, he sent me something else that apparently is some design project, and I wonder what people think of it.
I'm already worried, my friend. Let's share the screen with the crowd here. What the fuck is that? A fan?
Some sort of speaker of some kind.
Is it Bowers and Wilkins?
No, it's like what they some
Or
design
DVLA or Cabriolet, whatever.
No, what some sort of design artist person thought B&O should potentially do in the future.
No, he should break his pencils and never draw again. It looks like some sort of a turbine / a air filter. Is it like a multi-directional speaker? I thought.
That's
Like
sort of what it seems like the idea of it is. In terms of looks, I think it's sort of factory futuristic looking almost. I'm not sure.
I don't like the stand. It looks like something that should be spinning, like those gyro things. Fidget, whatever spinner.
But there was another one, and this is almost more a reinterpretation of the balance, which I think is somewhat derivative of 28, but if this could potentially work.
Quite honestly, like, yeah, this is very balanced, stolen, 28 micro-sized. I would want to hear it before I would criticize this anymore, because it does look kind of weird.
I mean, if the balance looked more like this, I think it would be potentially less. It's IKEA, man.
Yeah, but this is balance meets a 28. That's basically the guy just like, I think, just hacked down two different systems together, exactly almost.
Yeah. But it sort of
So
works.
I don't like the recessed deal for the volume.
No, that's probably their own idea of what a volume button should be, and they've never actually done a
Felt one
proper.
before.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still not a huge fan on the 28 of the touch sensitive volume slider thing.
They should have made it. They should have made the top cap like the Essence remote. That should
Yeah,
have been mechanized volume controller, in my eyes.
yeah, agree.
But yeah, this could work like a rear speaker, but I don't know. I don't feel B&O out of it at all. Like I think it's just a bastard of something that hopefully this is not a leak of like the 2023 portfolio here, for God's sakes, because that would be a sad day. I wonder if that volume control is actually mechanized, because it looks like there's an offset gap in between the aluminum fabric thing and the actual polycarbonate lens where the microphone and all that nonsense is printed on. I
Yeah,
wonder if you can, if you just like swipe in a freaking
yeah.
peanut butter
This
jar.
is just some design. How would you say exercise of somebody? I
Hmm.
mean, maybe they want to work for B&O. Who knows?
Yeah, but you don't like hand this in like it's like a. This looks like something that it's due midnight and you start at 11:30 and you just go on the website and you're like, okay, I can fucking make some of this.
Wow, that's a bit harsh. I couldn't make this in 3D CAD that quickly.
But you know what I'm saying though, right? Like the whole copy of it just it looks like it's not original in any shape or form, in my opinion, to B&O. Like it's not original. It looks
No.
like a copycat to me, and without even the logos being there to help it, it looks like a copycat
I mean,
product
the
to
one
me.
thing I told Eric, I think, was that for B&O, these logos would be way too big.
Yes.
Because B&O stuff, generally, it's apparent that it is B&O. That's why the logo is so small, because you don't need it.
No.
I mean, it's like these is it these Gucci shirts and whatnot, where it's like Gucci, like that size, and it's like, yeah,
That's
we know it's like, ugh.
it's necessary, bro.
Yeah. I mean, if you need to tell us what brand it is, you probably did it wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, on the other hand, look at how small the label is on something as old as it is.
Oh, look at BeoVision 9, you can barely see it. Yeah, look at here, you can barely see it.
I mean, the biggest label on it is literally the brush to get all the shit off the records.
Yeah. No static brush. That's the brand.
Yeah, it's actually a nice brush. The bristles are carbon fiber.
How do you wash it?
You, you just like literally take your hand or whatever and you slap it against it and it's good enough. Everything comes off it. Nothing really sticks on it.
Interesting.
And if it's
They should have done
really
it for
disgusting, then just run some water over it and try it.
they should have done it for the tweeter brushes for B&O. I think they used horsehair on it.
Yeah, I think this might be a bit rough for that.
Oh, for sure they would.
But like, this is an old B&O record player, and this is why I think these are still so bloody sexy. Like, this just looks gold. It's sitting right here.
I don't like it.
I mean, it's older than you and I.
So have some respect.
I mean, this is
Yeah.
what this one is from 1975.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
old as fuck.
Shit, that was before my parents even met.
Yeah. Oh, what I meant was I forgot to take a picture of when it was up, but like, so this is currently my living room with the like you can't really see it from an angle properly, but with the dark wall behind the TV, it's not the panel being off is not that intrusive compared to the how dark the wall is behind it.
Yeah. You gotta make sure you get me a fucking floor stand for the Bio Center too.
Okay, this will get you floor stands.
I just thought of it. I'm like, I'm fucking taking mine with me. Shit, I need to send my mom's dead one to get fixed.
Yes, yes, my plugs levitate. I know, it's...
Yeah, that sucks.
Give it 15 years, maybe 10, Sandeep, and you'll go, I have to plug in the Hoover. Ugh.
15
You
years, I'm
start
hoping it's
groaning
gonna
when you
have
have to plug
a
stuff
freaking
in because it's too
cordless
low.
light.
I mean, I just go, "Plunk."
That's right.
This place is made for old people.
Pretty much. But yeah, with the dark wall, it really just, the TV completely just disappears more or less.
Yeah, and the oak and or aluminium pops like crazy,
Hmm.
which is
See you, Michael.
have a good
Don't
one.
spill no milk.
I think he stopped selling milk.
You're not selling milk anymore, bro? What are you doing
We
now?
now get our milk from some other Swede.
Selling goat cheese. Oh, he's selling cheese. From milk to cheese.
Swedish cheese.
Oh, he disconnected so he can't even defend himself anymore. Right on. Well,
But yeah, no, I think this Beosound Theater, I think it's gonna probably do really well.
I'll make it do well. I like it. I like the look of it. I don't think the stand is motorized. My guess is not. My guess is not. It'd be cool if it was, because if they reuse the Eclipses, like if they're using the same boards, that power output is on that board to control the motor in the floor stand.
I'm 50-50 on whether it's motorized or not. I don't know. It sort of looks like it could be.
I'm thinking it is, but I'm very much like I'm 55% reserving myself that it is, and 45 that it isn't. But
And if it's only manually movable, it better be damn smooth, and not get hung up in like carpet or something.
yeah, like the freaking Horizon that was bullshit.
Yeah.
It didn't happen with they fixed it quite a bit with the contour, because I had to put a contour down on a fuzzy ass carpet, and it didn't have an issue with it. So hopefully this one, I think it's motorized.
I think so too. I wonder what the floor stand is going to cost. It's probably going to be €1,200 or something like that.
Yeah, I would say close to $2,000 US here, $1,800.
And for the people that think this is going to be a stage-esque price, yeah, put that out of your mind, because no way is it going to have all this internal electronics.
No, I think this is like an $8,000 soundbar plus floor stand, so you're looking at about 10K plus
So
the
in
screen.
European, I expect it to be about 5.5, and then 1,000 for the floor stand, and then the panel. I
It's
mean,
almost
that's cheap compared to an Eclipse, because an Eclipse is like 8.5 or something without a floor stand.
mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm really also wanting to hear it. What does that have for capability when it comes to sound? Are they reusing some of the stage drivers, which they are very capable, right?
Yeah. Oh god,
And
these prices have shot up here. I think this is with the rotating floor stand from €10,600 for what looks to be a 55-inch Eclipse.
oh, anybody wants a set of Lab 9s? Mint condition. I got them in the basement. I can send you pictures. Email me. For real. Fucking
Yeah,
for real, man.
buy your Lab 9s. Willie has a set of Lab 9s. If you're in
Yeah,
the US, especially, they're hard to come by.
and I'll give you a good price. So, anyways,
But yeah, this is getting spicy in terms of price. So I think if if they sell it as is, as seen on Discord, if that's going to be like 2.5 grand less, if not 3 grand less, they're going to have a winner. It may have to be actually slightly less than that if they want to. I think it depends a bit.
What?
What the price they can. I think we're not thinking fully new price inflation price yet. Because
So it has to be below this.
yeah, oh for sure. But in my mind, a 55-inch Eclipse wasn't ever this price.
That's a 55, right?
Well, it says from, so it's the cheapest. I mean,
Go select size.
yeah, that's 55. So if you go 65 with see, it doesn't change. So it's from 10,600 euro for a 55-inch Eclipse with rotating floor stand. That's expensive.
Mm-hmm. But is it?
Yeah, it is. Because 9 months ago that was like 8,500 euro, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 9.
The only thing that really got more expensive on it, I'm sure, is the B&O part. The displays, I don't think they've gotten in price that dramatically.
No, but the B&O part, but both B&O parts, and I think the floor stand may have become more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. No, you can't even. It's they don't give you a full price list like they do with other TVs for some reason. By the way, this rendering that you see now with the aluminium front looks awful on website.
Yeah.
Like it looks so much nicer in real life.
Well, because it goes from thin to thick to the bottom, or it just doesn't. This just looks like shit.
Yeah, but it almost looks like somebody put like dirty fingers and did that on it.
Yeah, it's a weird look.
Just take normal pictures, you know.
It can't be that expensive.
I mean, yeah, the first picture of it looks way better, and this is an actual picture. And you can tell because it doesn't look so weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but see how small they are at the top and how bigger they get on the bottom progressively?
Yeah. Yeah, that's also something you don't see until you actually see it in person.
Yeah, the detail is sick on them, I gotta say.
Sandeep says 65-inch Eclipse is £2,000 more than a 55-inch. A lot of that is B&O because 55 to 65-inch isn't that much more in terms of. I think the differential's like £700 or something in the panel.
Yeah.
Well, if we're ever actually dealers, we can be of a lot more service because we'll have price lists that are current and up to date.
I'll have current price list as of September 1, my friend, I tell you that, for every part.
So the 65-inch Eclipse with wood panel and floor stand is £12,000. In Canadian, that would be 18 grand or something.
I despise that non-motorized floor stand. That solid shit that they got. This fucking BeoSound core welded.
Oh, that thing on the left. Yeah, I don't like it.
It's just terrible. It's terrible.
If you wanted this, I would say go with STB. They have a normal tilted sort of floor stand that's better than this.
Yeah, this is just, I don't know. It looks awful to me. I don't understand what it's supposed to represent. Nonsense.
Yeah, I don't get it as a shape.
No.
But it is what it is.
Watch it. My first sale's gonna be this fucking floor stand to somebody. Those are the karma has. I'm like, no, but I really like it. All right, let's get it for you then. You're not putting it in my house, so I don't care.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
no, I think I'm
like
gonna
the
go Beosound Theater if it's all it's propped up to be. I
yeah,
really wonder what kind if they've moved on from the Eclipse Harmony platforms.
as far as
Speaker connections. If this works with like a balance or something like that, that would be epic.
how so because of the Mozart platform.
Yeah. I mean, also in terms of like, in terms of like selling it, right? If you have a TV where you can put like two balances next to, that would be a much easier sale than, let's say, well, you want some more speakers, 18s, 10 grand, please.
Hmm.
Because however lovely 18s are, a balance is more powerful, has more bass, and is two of them are still half the price of 18s.
Yeah, dude, they would ruin fucking 18s and his rears,
Yeah, or even as fronts, right? Like
even his
you're a
fronts.
beginner or rears, it doesn't really matter. But if it could connect to the, I don't know, maybe you want to live ultra minimally, and you want 4 levels.
Maybe it's in the works. I don't know. But it'd be nice if it was, because that's something that's a feature that, like, I've spoken about it a while back. We always discussed it too.
Yeah,
That if the IP driven, yes, like with levels, I guess you would get into the kind of a pickle with having them charged all the time or having them plugged in. Because if they're not plugged in, then the room compensation also turns off, so they wouldn't really sound the way that they should sound, right? Unless you have them plugged in. So that's one drawback to that. There's no way you could run them off of a PoE. There's not enough power in there unless you have a dedicated PoE line to each speaker that BNO supplies its own power into that one, right? And you just,
yeah.
bring network into it and however many fucking watts it takes to get this thing running. That would be the only drawback that I could see with the Mozart platform, let's say surround. Balance, that would be cool because you'd have to have it plugged in anyways, right? Because it's not a battery powered product. So then I think that's a less limitation. I would still have it wired, but that would be, man, like to have 4 balances together, that'd be some serious ass around if you have it connected to the, let's say, the Beosound Theater.
One thing I'm also thinking, right? Like, this is like a use case thing more than that it matters. But if everything is Mozart and it all is interconnected with a TV of some sort, then potentially the pause play thing would work. Because right now with the harmony, because it's not Mozart, like if they're on PowerLink, they go into Beolab mode, and none of the remote controls on top do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's, let's say, Mozart connected to whatever, potentially louder, softer, next pause play would work.
But then you would want that volume control to be basically global, right? On the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
entire.
Oh, yeah, yeah, of course. But you could be at any speaker at any corner of the room and go, I'd like a
Turn
bit
it down.
louder, please.
Yeah. Let's get an Essence remote. Quit being a bitch, bro.
Well, I have one, but
Put it on the wall by each speaker, and that's it.
I mean, I really hope this uh, B&O sees this product as a high volume product and therefore puts it at a lower margin for themselves. I really hope that because that's good for us, and I think in the end good for them because they sell a lot more. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure we all know that if you buy a BeoVision or a Beano TV of any kind, you're gonna buy more shit.
Oh, that's given.
I mean, it's like a stage. It's that first entry, and you just never seem to stop.
Yeah, then you just retire that into somewhere where you don't really care for that much surround or lack of it, for that matter, from real speakers, right?
Yeah.
And then just and go with the real deal BeoVision. Start from there. I always recommend people, if you're gonna start with B&O and you're not as like you're not very musically heavy and inclined, then it's a no-brainer for you to go to a TV and start with the television. And then when you save up enough money to buy some good speakers, then you just buy more speakers, you know.
Yeah, and then get the best speakers you can, and eventually move those to the rear, and then get the next best speaker and put those in front.
Yeah.
That's more or less how we've always done it as well.
Yeah, you rotate your best shit at the time to the rear.
Yeah, and then you'll end up like me, most likely, falling in love with the surround sound, and then you have to go nuts over surround sound, and then your your worst speakers sonically go to the middle again because the other speakers are at the back.
Once I get a place that I can actually settle in for a more semi-permanent time, I will do the same thing. Because I'm keeping the lap fours, so I'm gonna stick the lap fours up in the ceiling.
Do you need to look me, or do you need me to look for like wall brackets for those?
That's a good point.
I mean, you can
Yeah,
duct
well,
tape them to the ceiling too. I don't care. But
I don't remember if I have wall brackets for them, but I don't think so. I might, but I doubt it. I really doubt it.
I found a
So,
Biosystem for.
so when like if you see them, just buy them. I'll square up with you afterwards. Same thing with the Bio Center too. Floor.
And Beolab for some floor stands.
Oh, and those hideous ones, right? Fuck, those were the worst floor stands like David Lewis ever designed, man. Those were just terrible with that tinsel silver cable hide for the speakers. Absolutely mutant. Yeah, those are the ones.
God, this is awful. But then again, to me, Beolab 4s are awful, but I don't like them at all.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah, you can join your V1 to the M5. I have an M3 in my shower here, with a V1 in the bedroom here. Wow. And Lab 11 too, because it doesn't have much space. But yeah, you can
yeah,
do that.
if it's
No
an
problem.
NL product, you can pretty much link all other NL things to it. Because my M3 links to the Harmony, but also to the stage if I want to.
Yeah.
No, you mean happy to join? It's great.
Yeah, set it up like if you want. You need to set it up in the TV as well, in my opinion, is the best way to do it. Go to the network uh, or product interface, and then you just add a product, and then you tap on the M5, and then it'll ask you if you want to select if you want to put the M5 sources directly below the TV sources, and you just say yes. Then it'll populate all the shit. Then you get out of all of that, and then you go back to menu, go to setup, then you go to sources and you deselect like the QPlay and AirPlay and Bluetooth and whatever else you like, whatever you don't want to be shared and be a source. Then you just click it the fuck off, and you're laughing. And then I would go and do the same thing and set the TV in the M5 as a primary to connect to, and then I wouldn't really connect any sources because there's a delay. But you could listen to your, let's say, YouTube stream on the M5, but I would suggest at that time to mute the TV because it's going to be out of sync.
People, I'll pull this. People that have gone to Discord and have looked at the BeoSound BeoSound Theater. Do you like it? Let us know.
Mm-hmm. Did you, Neo, do what I just said as far as the TV setup is concerned? Go to the menu and connect it there, and you shouldn't have a problem. I would also reboot all 3 of them, or 2 of them, whichever one you want to properly connect. Because right now, what you don't have assigned is primary and secondary, because like it doesn't know which to connect to. If you want, I guess whichever one is playing, it should technically connect to. But that's where your problem is, and I would reboot the shit. Power Psycho.
Yeah, those are things that
You.
older stuff still needs every so often. New stuff too, I've found, but never really get fully rid of that.
No, you got it. It's everything needs Power Cycle. Just like we need to sleep every night, and sometimes that shit needs to reboot itself.
Yeah, DJ bought a Play V1 for like €120 or something like that on an auction.
Nice.
But apparently
40 or 32.
32. But apparently the internal speakers aren't working. And was it? I think Christian said that there's like some resistor or something. Where are we going? I forget now what thread it is. It's probably photos. There's some thread, or there's some resistor somewhere that if it goes, it takes out the speakers from functioning at all.
So you just need a new board.
No, it's replace a resistor. So apparently you can still do that.
If you know how, then go all the power to you.
Oh, the tech support, yeah, that's it. What are these resistors somewhere in here?
See, like I got like meat cleaver level of soldering shit compared with like Steve, right? So I wouldn't even go fuck around when they're on these boards, you know.
Yeah. Or if you know what it is, my friend over here in Utrecht can probably do it. He has like these microscopes that you can see the fucking divot of the moon with.
Nice.
But yeah, what is it? The NTC resistor. There's like 3 NTC resistors, and if one of them is broken, the speaker stops playing.
Feels bad.
Yeah, but apparently it does work with external speakers, so maybe just get another set of 8000s, because the BeoVision V132 is not that impressive as a sensor.
It's good with the Lab 11, I'll tell you that. Like the Lab 11 is perfectly suited for that TV, or the V140 BV10s. I would go, and N11s like that. That thing is awesome. But anything else other than that, Beolab 4s at the most, Beolab 3s.
Yeah,
But
people vote. Let me know. I want to know what people think about the BeoSound Theater.
yes, I think it's gonna sell very well. I just hope that there's no real hiccups with the software when it first comes out, and it's not a, you know, like Halo half baked, you know, it wasn't fully finished. I hope it's compatible with Halo right out of the gate too. That's another thing.
I mean, I'm not really showing anything if I do this, but I'm making people. I'm appetizing you to go to Discord to see it properly.
Flashed it.
Yeah, this. I mean, this is. Now this is a tease.
Pause it and see it now.
Lance says, I'm a few years older than that record player, but it probably works better than I do. How often have you been lubricated over the years?
You got your rubbers changed. Pulleys.
Yes.
Yeah.
How often have you been taken apart and somebody went in with a finger and rummaged
That's one
around?
thing though. Like if those pulleys go, where do you buy the replacement? Because there's not many manufacturers that have these. Well, I guess now with the turntables, you should probably be in more luck.
The internal pulleys are mostly metal. The real problem for this era is that there's an electric motor and that has a spindle with the sort of the correct disc that holds the rubber band that turns the turntable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the edges of that are like U-shaped, but these edges are rubber to grip the sort of snare that turns the turntable. Well, they dry out and then chip off. There was a company that sold old spares, but they've run out, and this is why I still haven't got my 1202 turntable, because apparently the one I had a chip in that, and they're now 3D printing, trying to remake that from new, based off of old like reverse molds and stuff.
Or 3D scanning, I guess now with the lasers and shit.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I'll probably have one of the first in the world like that.
It's too bad that B&O discarded all the drawings and everything for them in fears of having their patents taken or
There's
stolen.
some very clever people that have them.
I'm sure that there has been something saved.
Yeah. Some very clever.
Why not just go and do it again? Fuck.
Some very clever people have drawings that they're not supposed to have. Because B&O did like that, get away, and they were like, got it.
Good. But that's
I mean, but if you didn't coming back to my turntable, if you didn't know this thing was like, what, this is nearly 50 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Who would guess this was 50 years old? Not many people would say 50. 20
No.
maybe 10.
A lot of people would think that it's still a current program, like it's a current, like you just got this, a few weeks ago. In this condition, because it doesn't show age on it at all.
No.
And it's a timeless look at the end of the day. Like there's no ifs and buts about it. So
I mean, I partially bought this thing for the looks because it just looks amazing. I think this. I love the tangential arm, and I really like those record players. Mm-hmm. But in terms of operation, one of the weirdest quirks I found is that that back cover where the needle sort of drives under, right?
Yeah.
That comes forward a bit more, so that I've always had sort of like so you take your record up and then you have to tilt it to get it out, yes. Which is like really odd because the last time I didn't, I sort of went and took it out, I guess not on an angle enough. I tipped it out of my own hands and fucking dropped it and ruined the record.
Nice.
Because I obviously tried to catch it, but in doing so, I pushed it back against the metal and scraped the fuck out of it.
Oh, fuck.
But with this, like the whole dust cover, you can just, even if this is not enough, you just slide back and take the whole thing off if you want to.
Mm. If you're a klutz.
Not normally.
What record did you mash against the metals? What was it?
Fleetwood Mac.
Fuck, I had a feeling it would have been Fleetwood for some reason. I don't know why.
Do I have it somewhere? I'm just glad it wasn't Pink Floyd, really.
Is that more expensive or more rare?
Both.
Word.
This the one? I think this is the one.
Let's see. See what you've done.
Oh,
Oh, nice. What track did you ruin?
what track is that? Go Your Own Way.
Shazam.
And then there's the more pivots on this side, and on the other side there's a little scratch, but it's not bad. But like this massive one, fucking reflection.
Yeah, I can see it kind of, sort of. Yeah, there it is.
That the big large one is big enough that it literally will pop the needle back in the previous groove. So you got that. Da, 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 da.
Omelette de fromage.
Yeah, and you literally have to like physically push it over that hump now.
Oh shit! So it's done.
Yeah.
Just try to take a lighter to it and just kind of smoothen it out.
No, some Scotch Brite.
Scotch Brite. Everything's gonna sound like electro. Shit. That is funny, but not. Nah, it's just things after all, right?
It could have been worse. It could have been a lot worse. Yes.
Could have fucked up the needle.
Yeah, I would have cried if I did that, because that's like the price of 10 records in one go.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, even an MMC4 is like €200 or so. I mean, if anybody has a spare SP12, let me know. I may want to buy it off of you if the price is right. Because that's the only problem with these older record players, is that these styluses haven't been made in like 40 odd years.
Somebody has one somewhere sealed in the attic.
I've seen several people that have had that, but this was before I had this, and I always thought, well, whatever. It's not my
Now you're
problem.
like, shit, they should have taken it.
Yeah, I should have chanced it just in case.
Yeah, you should have, man. We're at that BNO level that, you never know what you're going to end up with at what point of your life. So you
Yeah.
might as well have cables for all of it.
But also, like, as in for the actual label, like, look how small the Bang & Olufsen of Denmark. You don't see that on anything anymore.
No, you don't.
And I kind of like that it's not so shouty. Like, even Sonos has a bigger logo on their shit than B&O does.
Sweet, my credit card got approved for in Florida. Right.
Yay!
Yay! So another good move. I'm so looking forward to get the fuck out. I'm just gonna kill it there, but I need to figure out how to move everything.
U-Haul.
Fuck that! I'm gonna do it with. I'm gonna do it with the pods. I'm just gonna park the thing here over the weekend. I think next weekend I'm gonna do it.
Because you're leaving in...
On 22nd of August. Which
Oh, so you have another 3 weeks in Canada.
Yes, which is not enough because I have fucking projects to finish too. So I'm leaving on Monday. So I think the Monday's podcast probably will happen me either like going through the border or just across the border.
So you go from compelled speech to free speech.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disconnect to change SIM cards too. Most likely, what I'll do, I'll just because I'm leaving this phone with Nick, so I'll just give him my SIM card the night before, and I won't even power up the phone till I get close to the border. So then I'm already on the T-Mobile network, so that I don't get fucking docked for whatever, and then go here.
Makes sense.
So
How are you for tomorrow, by the way, or are you busy tomorrow?
I might just do the podcast from the basement, packing shit up.
Okay, we'll call that a maybe then.
So
Because depending on how busy you are, I could also do something else. I've been asked to do something else, to put it that way.
okay, let's do something else then. You go ahead and have fun with something else you're doing. I'm gonna have fun with my shit.
All right, well then that's settled.
That sorts that out.
By the
But
way,
yeah,
if anybody has any questions, go for it.
that's right.
The chat's all yours.
Try to stomp me with some Masterlink shit. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be hot. I'm looking in the apartment still, like I'm looking into fully furnished stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to deal with, I guess. But like, literally, a stone's throw distance away from the shop. Because I want to buy one of those electric scooters and just fucking ride to work on it. Oh, man, it doesn't even make that sound. I would make that sound as I'm driving. But
Oh God, generic enthusiast over on Twitch sent the perfect record player for you, Willie.
what's this?
It's made by Yamaha.
I don't have no Twitches opened. The doctor is looking. What the?
I have it up
God.
on here.
No shit. Is it actually like what? That's not playing. Fuck all.
Yes, it is.
That's just bullshit, bro. That's some bullshit.
I think you can actually buy this.
Oh yeah, let's skip the record. Yeah. That's some bullshit.
If you want your vinyl.
Replace the album by a convoluted freaking interface back from Kaleidoscape. Dude, that microphone still exists. It's an actual part number. And you know what? Quite honestly, exactly in a month, I'll give you that part number, or maybe I'll just sell it to you.
Wait,
As,
what are we on? Oh, the doctor says, I'm looking for a microphone to calibrate to 50s. My dealer told me it wasn't available anymore. Maybe you guys know where I can buy the microphone. Your dealer is absolutely wrong, because he can just order that. Because you get it with the welcome package if you buy the 90s.
Yes.
And if it's not available anymore, B&O has a serious problem in selling any 50s and or 90s.
I don't buy that at all. I don't buy it. There's no fucking way. There's no way it's unavailable. He's full of shit, your dealer. And what kind of dealer is he if he doesn't have him to even lend you one to begin with? That would be my question.
Hold on.
So, no, like there's no way, man. You have to, there have to be available. What? You found it?
Yeah.
Oh, so what the fuck's the part number? Yeah, read it out loud. Yeah, 8470075. There you go.
So once again, 8470075.
And if he puts that in the ROS, then it'll automatically redirect him to a correct part number if it has gotten changed.
Yeah, and below it says ARC microphone,
microphone, yeah.
including holder.
What I would suggest is, like, if you got the 50s, then obviously you have a little bit of money left. If you didn't buy the 90s, then I would buy, because I didn't get the clip with mine. I just went to a guitar store and I bought a good quality microphone stand with the foam clamp. So then I just clamped the microphone in it, and then you can tune. I don't know if the tuning process is the same on the 50s because I've never ran a tuning on them, but do you have to do like top, middle, and bottom?
Yeah, that's exactly the same.
So then it's much easier to do it with an actual boom, like a microphone stand where you can just sit where you are and just literally move it where you need to, get the fuck out of the way around the test, or set up and do it again. Like,
depending on how pro you want to go, it's an 8-inch thread, and I have a reducer for my little thing, and then I can clip it into the tripod for my camera, and that it has an articulating head, so you can hold it, do any. That's how I do it.
Yeah, but that's one thing that yeah, I would just recommend. What's another 100 fucking euros on a goddamn microphone stand?
Because this is my tripod, and it becomes enormous if you like totally pull it out.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
But yeah, there's no way that that's not available. That your dealer doesn't know what they're doing.
Unless he doesn't know, unless he's like typing in the words and searching that way and can't find it.
Yeah, no, give him
Because
that.
I wouldn't be surprised if the microphone for the Avant is no longer available.
No, those are not. But they also, that was the reason why they've turned it off, right? Because it was kind of color.
But also that's a 3.5 mil jack and not an RG45.
Yeah, it was old school. Like it was the same. Like you get stuff with the third party receivers and shit, right?
Yeah.
So.
But like my dealer's one has like Bang & Olufsen on the side. Mine is clear for some reason.
Yeah, mine has a B&O on it still. Yeah. So yeah, go
they
after
do the same,
it,
but do what the B&O YouTube says, and it's very important you have it upright. Like you initially, most people want to go like pointed, and that's wrong because it's measuring what comes there and bounces back as well. So it needs to be upright or down, but straight down. Usually something is in between because you have to hold it some way.
Which he was told was Sennheiser. What this brand of the microphone or the Avant one? Because I don't know. Mine was branded B&O. Like I bought my 90s in 2016.
It could be made by Sennheiser. Wouldn't be a bad thing. Sennheiser makes excellent microphones.
Yeah, I would actually be pleased if that was the case, because they do have they have seriously good microphones.
Yeah, no, but yeah, you have the part number now. I knew I had it here, and I didn't move it down yet. So, but it in the box, I would keep the box because it's all padded and whatnot. And don't be afraid, the cord that comes with it is enormously long.
Yeah, I think it's at least 15 meters, if not more.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Once you get the mic, dude, get yourself a stand for sure. And then, you don't set up just one position. Like you can set up, I don't know, I've done say 6 presets in my apartment when I had it.
Yeah.
And it's just,
I do the maximum until it tells me it can't anymore.
But like if you do measurements for like easy listening or whatever, then I would measure like 3 points across the room, like from here where I sit to one behind me and one almost against the wall where the speakers are sitting right here, and then it reads out the algorithm differently, or it processes the filters that it creates differently based on the volumetrics of the room, not just like when you do a spot tuning for narrow mode.
It makes a difference, yeah.
Huge. Also, if do it as you always do it when you watch TV or whatnot. Like if you always have your apartment doors or house doors open everywhere, then fucking keep them open while you do the calibration, because it's a completely different sound. How the bass response changes, like especially in my house when I would close all the doors into the living room space, and then you lose, a few hundreds of cubic liters of air that the volume dissipates through. So it does make a difference on the 50s and 90s and 28s, I would take, more or less. But the 50s and 90s, it's fucking audible. It's very audible.
I mean, this room is pretty square with one door to the hallway out, but I can tell when that one door is open or shut. I can also tell in the hallway because, like, my bathroom door starts vibrating when they run their test tones, as in, like, you literally hear like the door shake.
Yeah, dude, like it's insane. Yeah, they're insane speakers.
So no, they can't be out. If they were out of parts for now, I would get that. But if they're like, no, we're not making that anymore, then like, why buy 50s? Because they're
You
not
can't tune them
that good
anymore.
out of the box compared to tuned.
Yeah. Well, that's the difference between them, right? Like that's the selling point, more or less.
I mean, it's crazy how much better they sound when you just run the microphone through your room.
Yeah.
And also,
90s are the same, right? It's insane how they sounded.
yeah, also, if you tune for like your head on narrow here, or let's say in that corner of the couch, that actually matters because if you sit here and then set it up with a preset for like back there, you hear that you're not in somehow in stereo.
Mm. Yeah, you're not in the picture at all.
Yeah, and it's crazy how just some DSP can do that
The accuracy on those is just it's insane.
because it's literally like, whoop, you're it.
That's right. Yeah, it's funny. Like when I set up presets for like my freaking kitchen, I was by the sink, so it just brings that, and it makes a huge difference how that imaging actually just shifts over to you. So
Well,
yeah,
so
man.
far it seems that most people either like the Biosound Theater or it's too early to tell. Too early to tell is also good in my opinion because
Hmm.
I mean it's obviously hard to judge from one picture.
Yeah, Michael's deal was in Utrecht, right?
Yeah, yeah, he'll sort you out. That's fine. He doesn't care where you are in the country. He doesn't even care if you're in Germany.
But he won't ship to Russia.
He's not allowed to. No, his contact shit is down below as well. We give him a call
Yeah,
Tuesday. I think he's closed on Monday, but not 100% sure. But I mean, that's where I got my microphone from him, obviously.
yeah. So it obviously exists. It's just I don't know. Sometimes the dealers are just not willing to help for whatever reason. Where could I find the option on the V1 to add other devices? Go to options, and then you go to product interface or product integration, and it should be there.
Is it like BeoLink or something?
1 second.
I mean, the doctor, yeah, my dealer should have them. Well, maybe not in stock, but he can order them for you. I mean, you have the part number, but I doubt he'll even ask you for that. Like, I bet you my dealer will just go either they're out of stock or where are you and where do I send the bill? I mean, those microphones aren't even all that expensive.
You can see this. So go
I,
to setup,
you're
and
coming
then
back. You need to speak up a bit.
so you go to setup, and then you go to product integration, and then you go link to other products. And right now, if you press setup, the red button, then it just shows. And for me, it only shows. I don't know if you guys see it or not. It only shows the shower because that's the only product network link that is in here. So if I go back out, it's just always grayed out. And then speakers used with none. So then you could use that as your speaker system as well. So I don't know if that helps. Other product is grayed out. Then press setup, man. Press the red button on the diamond where it says where it's grayed out. It should then populate the list of what you have on the network.
Make sure it's on the same network, not on 5 gigahertz, and one is on 2.4 and stuff.
Yeah, so that's another thing. But I unless you have them all as one. But then you press done and setting is stored. But essentially, what it'll take you back to. Let's just exit out of this completely. Then you can just go back to source list, and then here you can change with again the red button. You can add. Oops, too deep. With the red edit list with the green button, then you can just go and pick out all the stuff that is in the M3. So does that help you out? Because that's the only way to integrate them together. So setup, product integration, link to other products, and then red button to set it up, and Bob's your uncle.
Say hi to Bob for us.
There you go. This one thing. TV's on cable, my Wi-Fi phone cable. It should still see it, bro. If you have the same network, like they stay on the same network, they should still see one another. So
Yeah, it just might be different if it's 2.4 or 5.
yeah, these are both 2.4 gigahertz antennas. So but yeah, that's also I would enable BeoLink in the app for yourself. Then
Oh yeah, that's another thing. You have to enable BeoLink if it's not already enabled in.
yeah, otherwise that won't really jive with you in the app. And then it's
I
a bit
wonder why
easier.
they ever switched that off.
I think it was confusing for the first time buyers, and there was a lot of people that are buying the cash and carry product versus like people that are buying or are at our level of collectorship or fanship or whatever you would call it. We don't fuck around with the apps. Like you have a remote control that's programmed properly.
Yes.
That we, like your app is usually your last ass resort. Like you're lazy and you just fucking sitting on the like, god damn it, I'll just pull the app up and because it's just not natural for me to just tap 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 to switch channels and stuff, right? Like I'm just not that person. I like the tactile feedback of an aluminum, just in your hand and buttons and click and shit. And then you have your gateway and stuff on it, and it's just cool. Maybe what I'll do tomorrow is no, I have to program the gateway anyways in here, so I need to do that.
We can keep that for next Sunday or the Monday after.
Yeah, we could do the Monday after. We'll see how when I get the container, because like it's a priority now to start packing stuff up. I actually have to take this bed apart. Feels bad.
Our lives become more prominent before the show now, for once. So sorry,
Well,
people. There's a few months of this stuff going on.
well, I don't think that I'll ever be able to do the Monday show after I move, because if we're open on Mondays, then I'm fucked, right?
But it makes sense. If I ever become
So,
a pro partner, it was going to be hard for me on Monday too.
because Monday is where all the volcanoes erupt usually. So,
But it's also maybe once we're in the same time zone, it's not so bad to do it on a different time if we're going to do anything at all, or on a different day, right?
that's fair enough too. Like I wouldn't mind doing it, let's say 6 o'clock Miami time, because then it sets
I'll
it
be
off
on the
for,
same time anyway.
and then like I don't have to fuck around like kill my day, because like right now this what really doesn't work is that it's literally in the middle of the day. It works for me better in Miami actually, because it was at 2 o'clock. So that being said, 2 o'clock means I can do stuff in the morning, and by then 4 o'clock, then you have a dinner and just have a slow Sunday. Let's see what we've got here. My software is 1.0.11.37.484.
So probably the same.
So probably the same. The release date is 31/08/2017. So
So that's before the
so
50s came out.
many moons ago. But okay, so let's see. Do they have the 50s in there? Speaker connections.
Probably
Okay.
because they were on the BV11. Yeah, they were on the BV11.
Oh yeah, there's 90s. There's a BeoSound shape even. Look at you. That's a smart TV, dude.
Yeah, well, the 90s and the 50s, in terms of TV use, were built with a V1.
So yeah, that was the last update. Was this shit?
I mean, the whole TV integration Jeff and whatnot did, they did with a V1 for 50s and 90s.
But yeah, it's You're on the same software as I am, bro. Like you're doing something wrong. I would literally restart the products, and then I would start with one, which is the M3. Even factory reset it. Sometimes it helps, man. It's not that hard to reset it back up. It's 10 minutes, not even. Set that up and then go to the TV and set that up. And if you just bought the TV, I would highly recommend factory resetting it anyways, because it's probably got a lot of cache in its head from the old time owners that they had it. So
Yeah,
I would
maybe factory reset it if you bought it recently from somebody else.
like I factory reset my gear moving from one to another spot. Yeah, you can factory reset it. Fuck, bro. I'll show you.
Well, do you have a manual, by the way, for the V1?
It doesn't show it in the manual.
No, but do you have one? Because he asked, I think, a dealer and B&O, and they didn't have one.
No, there is none. They never made one. So how you do a factory reset? You go pull up main menu, right? Then you go to setup. Go to setup, and before you do anything, you leave it on the sound. Then you press the red button and go, and then it goes to customer service menu. And once it's in customer service menu, you go down to settings, and you just go. I go button up, so it brings it to the bottom of the menu. Then reset to default, and then you can go reset to factory settings. You can just reset the net radio to factory setting or web media, which is nonsense anyways. So you click reset to factory settings. This thing will just reboot itself, which I'm not gonna fucking do right now. It'll reboot itself, and then it'll just come back on and with everything as it's supposed to, and you just go back through a setup process as you normally would.
God, I
And
miss
that's
those
it.
curtains.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude,
man.
that's sexy on them.
Why does a
So yeah,
V1 have curtains and a Harmony doesn't? Ah.
so that's the easiest, not easiest. That's the way to reset the factory settings on the V1. I think that would be the best way to start. And yeah, because like I said, I always, as soon as I move to network and whatever else have you, I just
Yeah,
reset everything.
it's good to do that when you move stuff, especially if there's weird IP things going on, because
Exactly.
not everything may be fully deleted. I mean,
Like
nothing
I
is ever
factory
fully
reset
deleted, but B&O has a sort
way
of
of remembering stuff.
way of remembering things that the fifth owner back once did, and then it tries to do that or something.
Yeah.
Because, like I told this story a while ago, my 28s, I factory reset them several times, and then it remembered passwords again. And it was like, wait, what? I didn't even put anything in. Like,
No, I always, like I said, I always reset. Like I carry my level with me, and I factory reset. Which this thing is it's an absolute nightmare if you do not have the Google Assistant set up with the level.
mm-hmm.
It will not let you pair a phone to it, and it will not let you pair a remote control to it. It will not do that,
It's so
which is
dumb.
fucking annoying because I don't want to have the Google Assistant set up. And quite honestly, every time I go somewhere, I always factory reset it because if it's for a demo, then people go through the same experience of setting it up as they would for the first time. So I don't care if they do the goddamn Google shit or not. But I'm never buying another Google service product assistant thing ever. Like I'm gonna buy another
You've
level that
seen
is
the light.
um,
You've seen the
not even
light.
seen the light. It's fucking annoying. Like if I wanted the Google, I'll have the Google Assistant that I bought from Google plugged in and into the wall and have that work for me and with me. But I don't need this shit. So
Yeah, I get it. It the, I think it's a money thing, probably though, as in B&O makes some money with when any Google Assistant is built in, like on top of whatever they actually sell it for.
hmm.
But I wish they didn't, because it makes no real sense for the majority of customers. And I mean, I've been kicking against this since forever, but if there's a new product that is only available with Google stuff in it, I'm just not buying it, like ever. And it's Sandeep
Yeah,
isn't
DJ
either.
Neo, what you should have bought instead of the Chromecast, in my opinion, you should have looked into the Roku. I think it's called Roku Lite or something. It's a little it's a very little streamer, and it comes still with the remote control, so you could actually puck table it. And I have it connected via HDMI, of course, into the back of the V1, and I'm pulling the power for it from the USB off the V1. So it's a self-contained, basically now a smart TV, and the IR cable is just spooled up in there, and it's stuck on the Roku player. So then I have just the Beo Remote one, and everything works with one. But yeah, I think you should get your TV fixed with that. Like for that little money that you spent on it, I would definitely get that board fixed, or at least get a replacement part.
I mean, this one, right? That's just a sort of USB stick, but instead of USB, it's HDMI.
It's not this one. Let me just.
Is it, this one
Roku
then?
Media Express with streamer. No, it's not an HDMI stick because that doesn't fit. It's let me post it in here. There you go.
It just says Willie is typing on my end.
Really, I already sent it.
Or maybe copy paste it into the YouTube chat. That works too. It just says Willie is typing on my end still. God damn it.
Weird.
Internet.
And it doesn't let me post this shit on YouTube's dicks.
Oh god, is your internet failing?
I don't think so. Did it go through now? It must have.
Yeah. This one.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I have stuck in my TV. So it's got a USB, a micro USB input. See, that's where and an HDMI. That's all you really need, and a reset pin. And you
It's
stick
crazy
that
that stuff like this can be this small nowadays.
right? And it's fucking 4K, I think. If not, it's 1080p, which that's all you need anyways.
I mean, it's almost an Arduino, and it can do this no problem.
Mm-hmm. Comes with everything you need to hook it up.
It's only $40 Canadian? That's cheap.
Yeah, dude. You'll never need the remote because you can download the Roku player puck tables directly off the TV.
But you do need a puck cable then, obviously.
Yeah, but you have an option of controlling this fucking thing with a B&O remote instead of having a phone or something, right? For an interface.
Yeah,
Play,
because
pause,
the V1 doesn't do HDMI CC, does it?
No, it's too early in the era. At the end, the TV's 10 years old now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy that it's even smart. That because it doesn't basically run on a version of Linux.
Yes. Yeah, it is Linux based. But yeah, this is what you would. This is what I would recommend if I were to do it like properly with a little, mini streamer. But then you don't need another remote control because everything is in your television. As long as you have network in a TV, you can download the puck tables, and you're laughing, dude. And the puck table is not expensive, or I mean the puck flasher.
No, they're like €5 to €7, I think, for like short ones.
Even if they were 15 for the legit B&O 10-meter long fucking thing, right? But you could make it out of RJ45 connector and an IR cable if you know the pin out, or positive, negative. It's pin 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. No, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Because they skipped it, I don't know why. But then, yeah, you can do that. And that's better, in my opinion, when it comes to it than the Apple TV, because now the new Apple TVs you cannot fit in the back of the V1 at all. The old
Yeah,
ones
they've
could.
gotten quite thick because they want the cooling to be proper.
Hmm. So now it feels bad. You gotta fucking hang it on the back of this thing. So
I mean, I have a Apple TV 4K, and it's marginally smaller than my Intel NUC,
hmm
and the NUC is way more powerful.
how the fuck are they like what? Like I'm definitely gonna make sure that I have that kind of nonsense in stock because there's gonna be always
Yeah,
somebody that just like shows up out of nowhere asking for weird stuff like that. Like why wouldn't you not have that on hand,
but it's not even such a weird product to have.
right?
Like, I understand if you, like, I don't know, had a project and you sold out of 15 of them because it was a big project, but
You know what, tiny shop in the mall, I understand, but still, like at least I'll give you the option of like I'll order it for you. What address would you like me to ship it to?
yeah.
Done. But
It's, I don't know, maybe the dealer thing, just like with the doctor with saying that the microphone wasn't made anymore. It would shock me if that was true, like properly shock me, and I would rage at B&O next week if that was really the case. But
oh, if they offer to
maybe
ship,
it's
then good.
training.
Yeah, but at least they did offer it, so good for them. But yeah, like I would still get it, bro. You already got a B&O TV, whatever. The little tiny expense that you will have to make it work now properly. It's
Oh, you'll
really
probably
nominal.
get, like, here is a big TV provider is Ziggo, and they'll probably have a box that's shit. And it maybe work on CEC, but since your TV doesn't have it, it's probably better to use the IR flasher thing.
Mm.
You're probably gonna use them anyway. Why
Yep.
not? So yeah, it's a thing.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it for tonight. Martin Nielsen, thank you for the Danish Dika case.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
I mean, I'm glad there's a D in front of the two Ks.
Right.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. Come join us on Discord and stuff. We'll be out for tomorrow, but there's stuff to flash and see that you're not supposed to see, which is fine because P&O leaked it themselves. But let us know what you think about it on Discord, on here in the comments, and we won't see you tomorrow. We'll see you next
Next Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Have a good one, everybody. Bye.
Thanks for watching. See you next week.